What if a nuclear bomb got isekai'd instead of Subaru? What would this mean for Lagunica? Would our favorite waifus survive? How might this affect the likelihood of a Season 3 announcement? These are the questions that keep us all up at night. So today we're finally gonna get some answers. I'm Echidnut, and for once I've actually got a guest with me. Harley TBS, tell us your name.
Hey, I'm Harley TBS, a smaller YouTuber with almost 20,000 subscribers. Feel free to go check out my channel, I'd appreciate that support as I'd love to make more videos like this one.
And thank you, Harley, for joining me today. Now, of course, in the event that Subaru dies from a nuclear explosion, the timeline would obviously reset, so for the sake of this video, let's just pretend like Subaru never existed. To replace him, Otto has accepted the position of main character, and is now the protagonist of ReZero. Unfortunately, that also means it's Otto's responsibility to save Lagunica from this nuclear bomb, and well, Harley, would you mind calculating Otto's chances of survival?
Well, while Otto shows promise in gathering resources, working together in groups, and running away from any problems, I highly doubt Otto would be able to survive a nuclear bomb. Otto has no known physical prowess or super strength. Also, Otto can be seen in certain timelines to give up quickly, like with the bunnies, and set the building on fire. So, I'm gonna make the confident rolling that Otto would probably die with or before the impact of the nuclear bomb. However, I'd like to make a super rare case scenario for Otto. Given Otto's biggest strength is when he works in groups and is good at convincing others to work with him, I believe it plausible Otto could reach out to someone like Reinhardt, Emilia, or any plethora of other characters, and they could possibly protect him. Though, on his own, Otto is a goner for sure.
So I think most of the villains in ReZero would survive. The bomb itself could literally bounce off Regulus's head, hit the ground, and detonate right under his balls. And at the very worst, Regulus would just be confused. The same applies to Pandora. She could look that bomb straight in the eyes and tell it, "You're not a bomb, you're a dildo." And then suddenly the bomb would just be a dildo. Hector could also just delete the bomb somehow. It kind of feels like ReZero has a whole plethora of unstoppable villains, until you remember that Reinhardt exists.
Reinhardt is an oddball, and a difficult one for this calculation. While we can't exactly say Reinhardt is invincible, as Reinhardt can bleed, according to the Wikipedia, he has access to a plethora of divine protections, and Reinhardt can also be granted more divine protections from the Odd Lagna. As such, Reinhardt could respond to the nuclear attack by either destroying the nuke, which we couldn't exactly confirm to be possible, but it's plausible, taking the impact of the nuke, which I believe to be possible considering Reinhardt has shown himself to be able to fight against the witches, and then running away from the nuclear waste environment, or Reinhardt could be blessed with a new divine protection to completely nullify, reflect, or destroy any nuclear impact or waste. Though, given Tappei Nagatsuki, the author of the series, I know I butchered that name, themselves apparently ranked Reinhardt the strongest character, above the witches and the dragon, I really think it's safe to assume Reinhardt would survive any nuclear fallout with ease.
I know this video is supposed to be a shitpost, but I think we can also end the waifu war at the same time. You know, kill two birds with one nuclear explosion. Emilia's freezing magic would be able to stop the bomb because a nuclear explosion requires the motion of atoms, but if the temperature of the bomb reaches absolute zero, it doesn't detonate. I read that on Google, by the way, so I am an expert.
Rem, on the other hand, is a hard one to calculate. Rem doesn't have one specific ability that could nullify a nuclear bomb. However, Rem has a vast variety of other abilities to take advantage of which I'm going to pick out two in particular and use them for my prediction. Rem is capable of healing magic, and Rem is a one-horned Oni. I don't believe it implausible to presume that Rem would be able to survive the initial blast of a nuke, and could then heal herself with time to stop any fatal injury. However, Rem's powers have yet to be tested to their limits. Who knows if Rem could plausibly heal the impact of a nuke, seeing as she didn't heal herself when she played Twister with Betelgeuse.
Well, I guess that about settles it. The winner of the ReZero waifu war is Echidna. She is, like, already dead though, so I don't think a nuclear blast would really bother her too much. Her daughter Beatrice would probably be fine too, as long as she knows the bomb is coming. As an expert in shadow magic, Beatrice could just teleport the bomb somewhere else where it wouldn't hurt anyone, or perhaps even teleport herself to safety, leaving everyone else to deal with the explosion on their own.
Roswaal interests me as a character. Given Roswaal can fly at speeds upwards of 100 kilometers per hour, and can rewrite incoming magic by touching it, if Roswaal was to approach the nuclear bomb before it hit the ground, Roswaal could likely rewrite the bomb to be nothing more than extra mana that he could draw from within his gate.
Alright, what about Elsa? I'd like to hear what you think, but in my opinion, Elsa could definitely survive a nuke. My reasoning is, her giant titties provide quite a significant armor bonus, which allowed her to survive a direct sword attack from Reinhardt himself. And we all saw the attack, right? It honestly kinda looked like a nuclear blast.
On a more serious note, Elsa could definitely survive a nuclear blast. Elsa can rapidly regrow her lost or damaged cells, and has shown in the past to be capable of regenerating from being shattered. I don't think it's a stretch to conclude that Elsa would also survive a nuclear blast.
A character I think about a lot is Felix. I assume he would be wiped out immediately by the initial blast of the nuke, but if he's able to take cover or escape the blast zone, I think he could definitely survive the radiation. I mean, as the best healer in Lagunica, Felix could pretty much survive anything as long as he doesn't get killed instantly.
Most of the citizens in ReZero though would likely die. People like Old Man Rom, the citizens of Erlen Village, and even our beloved Apple Seller would probably be wiped out by the blast, unless protected by Roswaal or Reinhardt. Sadly, the civilians of ReZero show no overwhelming power capable of surviving a blast.
I think it's safe to assume that most ordinary characters would die, but let's be inclusive here, Mob Beasts are characters too. Sometimes. I don't think the Great Rabbit has any defense, but it can multiply infinitely unless it's wiped out by a single attack. Remember though, nuclear blasts are really fucking big, so I think one could definitely wipe out all the rabbits at once. This isn't an ordinary explosion we're dealing with here. This is the type of explosion you would find in Megumin's Wet Dream, and trust me, there's no way a single rabbit survives that shit.
The thick boy white whale possesses a power like no other. The power of absolute uselessness in this situation. This white whale was taken down by mainly a cast of characters not even considered the top 30 in the series, and the whale's only actual power is to wipe memories, removing the existence of people in the minds of their friends. It can't exactly wipe the memories of an atomic bomb, so goodbye Chubby, the real fat man is the one slamming down on the top of your head.
Alright, I don't want this video to go too long, but I think we should mention the witches. I know they're already dead, but just hypothetically, if the Tea Party got nuked, could anyone survive?
Daphne the Glutton speaks for herself, and eats for herself too. I presume she could eat the atomic bomb. I don't think more needs to be said here, though I feel incredibly apologetic for the subsequent bathroom break following the digestion of the nuke. Camilla the Hopeless Romantic probably can't kiss an atomic bomb out of existence though, so I think it goes without saying that Camilla would probably die. Sekhmet the Lazy Slouch could crush the atomic bomb with their invisible force, though I'm 99% sure that would probably still detonate the bomb, so depending on how far the force could reach, I guess it's plausible that Sekhmet could survive, though it'd probably be easier if she'd get off the fucking ground. Also, I personally think that Satella would die. I'm joking. Satella, the Witch of Envy, blessed with, according to the wiki, literally immortality, would probably enjoy getting nuked. Doubt it'd feel much worse than a massage.
Typhon would try to shatter the bomb with her authority, but sadly it only works on sentient beings with a conscience. Remember when Typhon got angry and the other witches had to restrain her using Daphne's coffin? That's because Daphne's coffin is a mob beast, therefore it doesn't have a conscience, meaning Typhon's authority doesn't affect it. I think Echidna could stop the bomb though. She's got plenty of different magic spells that would do the trick, and I'm sure she'd also know in advance if a nuclear bomb was coming. Plus, this is my video, so Echidna has plot armor by default.
Which is completely rigged, by the way, but nonetheless I can't disagree with your conclusion.
Anyway, there are a lot of fucking characters in ReZero, so obviously there's no way we could cover every single one of them. If we skipped a character you like, I'd be happy to continue this discussion in the comment section. And in case anyone's wondering why this video looks a million times better than everything else on my channel, it's because Harley was generous enough to do the editing. Definitely check out Harley's channel. At the time of recording, they're almost at 20k subs, and by the time this is live, they might have hit that milestone already, but regardless, it'd be really cool if you guys showed them how supportive you can be.
As aforementioned, please do check out my channel. I'm 400 subs away from 20,000 as of recording this audio, and I'm aiming for 25,000 subscribers within the next 2 months. As such, your support to achieve such an incredible goal would be appreciated. I often make anime reviews like my one-on-one direct priority, where I broke down the exact structure behind the series, and I intend to make more content like that. Who knows, you may even see a ReZero video in the future, but you didn't hear that from me.
Please remember to drop us a like as well, cause it'd be really funny if this video blew up, although on the other hand, it would also be just as funny if this video bombed instead. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you Harley for joining me today.
No, thank you. I appreciate you letting me on your platform, and I appreciate you making this video of me. It was a whole bunch of fun, and I really enjoyed just talking stupid about random ReZero characters and their chances of surviving a nuclear apocalypse. I'd love to work with you again, and I'm really happy we made this video. Thank you to everyone that enjoyed this video. I appreciate you all for watching my part. If you made it to the end, click subscribe to Echidna. That's obviously the best decision if you haven't subscribed already, as their content's great. And yeah, with all of that said, I'll leave it to Echidna to end the video.
Keep talking about ReZero. We're out for now. Peace.